Well, it's a new day, which means there's lots to do. You see, as I'm looking over my copper setup, my iron setup, or biofuel setup, or concrete setup, and something I did to get rotors and reinforced iron plates set up, I realized, yeah, this is a mess, and we kind of need to move, right? We need to move, but first I think we need to find a decent spot. But before we go out into the world and find a building spot, I actually went around gathering some random stuff in the open world so we can now do some upgrades. Because I went ahead and unlocked all the way down to the rebar gun, and in the quartz line I also went ahead and unlocked the blade runners. Now, the rebar gun, for example, is what is going to help us deal with all the mobs that we find out in the world, because this is basically a one in a chamber gun, but it kind of reloads quickly and it does a lot of damage. As for the blade runners, you put it on your legs and, well, enjoy the jump boost, the speed boost, the, well, boost to every single movement, because this is very helpful in getting anywhere on the map. And while I was exploring and crafting things, my factory has been at work, which means I can now do one of the few upgrades that I'm missing, and that is a logistics 2 upgrade. This is gonna be very good because we're gonna have access now to Mark II belts. For example, you see that this machine actually has 120 biomass per minute of consumption, but the belts, the tier 1 ones, the Mark ones, only do, well, 60, I'm sorry, which means we gotta upgrade them. And what you do, you select the belts, and if you're looking into the same belt, it does nothing, but if I just click on the E key, it switches into a Mark II, which means I can immediately upgrade these ones into Mark II, and this one should start working properly now because this guy is doing 300 biomass per minute, so that's a lot better now. Now, since I've played a little bit of Satisfactory before, I know the location of some of the pods that are, well, all the way down here in this general area. And what are these? These are supply drops. Basically, you kind of want to open every single one of these that you can, because you're gonna have access to these hard drives, and the hard drives are, well, a very powerful thing for you to have, especially early game. And plus there's also a bunch of resources that are just laying down, so if you're kind of waiting around in your factory, you might just want to come up to some of these, because they do have some very good early game resources, like these reinforced plates I just got, like rotors and stuff like that. So it is very helpful early game while we're just waiting for something. Yeah, this gun basically means that no wildlife is ever going to be an issue. Look at that. Except these guys. These guys are hard to hit. And oh, I got one, but the others hit me, of course. And now reaching over this little beach area, this is one of the spots that I've, well, played a lot of my Satisfactory time in. Why? Well, mostly because if we scan for iron, we're gonna quickly be able to see that we have 3 pure iron nodes here. We also have a pure copper that's a little bit down there, and we also have a pure limestone one that is just sitting somewhere around this tiny area. There's one there, but there's one there. Now, since these are all pure, it means that with a Mark I miner, we're gonna have 120 of each coming in. And this is where we're gonna start working today, because I wanna make a starter factory that takes 120 iron, 120 copper, 120 limestone, and produces, well, everything it can out of those. But the best thing about the hard drives is that if you come to the map, you can actually scan them now. This is gonna take 10 minutes, so if you have anything else you want to research, you do that first, and then you let this one go in for 10 minutes. I already have one that I opened, and, well, this is giving me 2 amazing options. Both of these are very good, but the right one is an outstanding recipe. We'll probably get to that, why that is later. But for the sake of today's video being a starter factory, we're not going to use any alternate recipes. And we need one more thing. That is to come here to the section of the architecture area and buy a couple of things that we're probably going to be needing. Well, first of all, I want to use these road barriers. And then we're going to go into foundations or walls. Yeah, walls. We're going to use the conveyor walls. And I think for now we can go with the windows. And this is already giving us 12. We got 24, so we can use the other 12 as we see fit. And as I'm getting ready to start moving everything over to the new spot, I'm just not gonna dismantle these machines. I'm just gonna let them running. I'm gonna take the resources into containers, which means that I do keep my production as is. And then once I have it done over there, I can come here and, well, get rid of all of these machines. So welcome to the new area. We're gonna be building off right here, and you can probably see that this area right here is a 4x4, and this little spot is where I'm going to be processing my iron first. I'm going to start with iron, and I want to try and maximize everything, so I'm going to try and put everything in a 4x4. So the iron will go in a 4x4, the copper will go in another 4x4, the concrete can go in another 4x4, but it's not really that needed, so the concrete will not... We'll probably just be in the middle here. I have like a 3 square area. Will probably just be between both of these. But these ones will get massive as like over time, so we're gonna handle those. And as we get ready to start off, there's another tip that's very, very helpful. Where it's just, well, trying to put a miner down, you can just place it, right? And you don't have to worry about anything else. But there's a little bit of a tip that I can give you. And that is, when you're going to place the foundations, you can just free place them, but you should just control place them. Why? This is gonna align the items into a world grid. And basically, since I did the same for my foundation over there, you can see that this one actually does perfectly line up with my foundations over there. And it's gonna be, well, very obvious why I'm doing this. And this is the reason. You can see we can still place the miner here, but now we can actually properly align it with the foundations as well as the, well, the ore deposit. And now when I'm bringing out the belt from here, we can immediately perfectly align it with our foundations over there. In that case, we're gonna go there, which means we can just, well, build sort of a belt road that's gonna take all of our belts all the way over there. Because this basically means that you're not gonna have like a spaghetti of belts, and we're gonna have like a very organized stream of items into our factory. And this is going to be our smelting setup, as you can see. And when we just go through this, we have 120 iron ingot coming in, and then we have a splitter. You want to put it as close to the wall as possible without actually turning yellow. And as you can see, the lines do connect there, and boom, as it turns blue, if you push another one, it turns yellow. You don't want that. You want it right there, which means you can put another splitter right next to it, which is going to be feeding into this smelter. And basically, we're going to take 60 iron there and 60 iron there. I'm doing it like this because we're going to save space at the end, and we can then later upgrade it into a 240 iron ingots per minute, and that means we're probably going to need more furnaces down here. Now I'm going to show a part that's kind of technical, so pay attention to this. Basically, if you go into the logistics and you buy the conveyor lift hole from the awesome shop, you can do a little bit of a cool trick. You see, you want to go up a floor, but you don't want to lose space above. Well, you can do this. You put a conveyor lift, but you nudge it one to the side. And what is this? What this is going to do is that now that if I put a conveyor lift here, that sends the items to the left and place it like that. You can then take advantage of the snapping feature, and then we can snap a splitter onto the elevator itself, which means it immediately splits the items. And we did this so that the splitter is dead center in the foundation. If we haven't done that, the splitter would be a little bit to the left, and that would mean that now our constructor that we're gonna put over here is also aligned in the center. And if this wasn't aligned, then this would not be aligned as well. And boy, oh boy, I would love to explain what the hell is going on here, and I'm gonna try. Basically, we have two constructors for iron plates. 60 of the iron gone. That easy. Then the other 60, we need to split between these four constructors. So I use the same elevator snapping method to actually snap this one in. Or, I mean, you have to put the elevator, then you put the splitter, and then you put this constructor in place. This one should have been one lower. It's my fault because it's actually going over the ceiling, but I'm not actually going to replace that one. And then, as you can see, the belt goes here and then into the other side, and you repeat the process where you place the elevator, you place the splitter, and then you place the constructor, and then it's splitting between this one and this one. And then comes the hard part, because I still want screws to come out of here. But these two I don't really need to bother with. I can just pick up the rods and send them on their way right over there. Same with the iron plates, they just merge over there and they keep going forward. But then I actually have to merge these two, split it into 3 lanes, which basically this one connects here. And then I have to put those two together and I connect them over here, which means I have 20 rods. Yeah, I think that's the right number. I have 20 rods, and this guy only needs 10. Wait, my math is wrong. Okay, now it's fixed. Well, basically I just removed one of the elevators here, and then I pushed them a little bit further, and then I don't need a merger up here. I can just simply take one of the outputs, because this is 30, and then 10 go there. They loop around all the constructors to come back into here, to go into this constructor right here. Now everything just needs power. Well, that's definitely something. And the copper factory is built, and it was a lot more of a headache than this one. Like you can see, this one is a little bit more cleanly. This one I have a belt coming from the roof and stuff like that, because this one have one extra constructor at the top. So yeah, that was horrible to do this. I have basically an output of copper wire, cables, and copper sheets. So yeah, that was a little bit hard to fit all of that in a 4x4, which they're technically not a 4x4, because I realized that I had to use like a 1 meter there. That's a 1 meter wall there, so this is technically 4.1 meters high, which is horrible, because there's no other way that I could have made this like smaller, because of how I need to reorganize my cables and stuff like that. And the concrete is now also working, and 100 concrete goes into 3, or 120 limestone I should say, goes into 3 constructors, and then you just underclock each one to make 10 per minute. And wait, it's wrong. It's not 10 per minute, it's more. Hold up. I'm sorry. There we go. 13.33333. And then you can just copy your settings into all of them, and then you will get a 40 limestone per minute, which in 3 of these guys makes 120. We have 1, 2, 3, but we're not gonna stop there. We need one more. So 1, 2, 3, and now 4. And that factory is, well, giving me the reinforced iron plates, the cubes, which should be coming as modular frames, and rotors. This uses 120 iron per minute. Well, not technically, it's 118.5, but well, I couldn't get round numbers, so that's what I'm gonna have to do. Basically, I'm making all the parts necessary that go into these 2 assemblers to make reinforced plates and make rotors. And then if we keep going up, we have a 3rd assembler at the top, which is basically using some reinforced plates and iron rods that I'm getting from down below to make the modular frames. Now, modular frames are kind of slow. We have, I think, an output of 2 cubes per minute, 2 rotors per minute, and 4 plates per minute. I think those are the numbers. Oh, and yes, I did put all my knowledge to the test here. Basically, we have things overclocked, like for example, this guy right here. We have things underclocked, for example, this guy right here. And we are even using the recipe that we got from the hard drive. That's basically using this one, is using iron ingots directly to make screws. Because without this, well, the factory would have been a lot bigger. And this is basically just to show you the power of the hard drives and a good recipe. Well, basically the only thing missing now is to replace my space elevator, which I guess I never actually placed though. And well, this is as one of the best animations I've ever seen. And here it comes. Man, I love this. The claws getting ready to catch it. Then as it comes in. I mean, it's just scratching off the paint, but it works, it works. There we go. Space elevator is now done. Now the only thing missing is those 50 smart plating to send off into the space elevator, and I just plop this guy down, grabbed 50 reinforced plates, 50 rotors, and just letting this do its thing. Oh, I guess while we wait, we can just do our necessities over here in the new and improved toilet. I mean, we can even play games here if you really want to. Like, this is Tetris, sort of. Kind of have to aim things in place. Oh, I'm not gonna get that. I can't get that. No. Oh, at least we got 3 stars here. And now we got the 50 smart plating, and since it's only in these items, we can just toss them into here. And then we're gonna seal it. There we go. And now it is ready to be sent off into space.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer.
Come on, man. Let me.
Congratulations.
Oh,
The Phase 1
okay.
project part shipment is now ready for delivery.
Okay.
On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed.
Okay.
After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub.
Very exciting.
Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more.
Cool.
Completing Phase 2 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better Fix-It future.
No doubt. Can I do it? Okay. There we go. And now, come on, do it. Do it. And yes, there we go. And I believe now there's an animation. Yep, that's new. Yeah, that is new.
Phase 1 of Project Assembly completed.
Oh
This is
boy.
only the beginning of Project Assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far. Reminder.
That's
not only
crazy,
is
man.
Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and or puppies. Continue the work for
Why?
Fix-It. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of Project Assembly.
You're trying to bribe me with kittens and puppies. But doesn't that look insane? Damn. And I guess it's just gonna get more and more crazy. Like, the more parts we send off into there. And now we can actually go ahead and, yes, we now have access to Tier 3 and Tier 4. Now, I really want to get my hands on blueprints. But, wait, what? Oh. We're gonna start off here. For some reason, Tier 2 is blinking. That's weird. I don't know. We're gonna start with this one. We're gonna start with coal power, or maybe even the vehicle transportation. Like we need to unlock all of these, which I guess now it's only a matter of time because we're already producing all the items. So I guess I'll just unlock all of these so then we can actually move into steel production. But guys, that's all the time we're gonna have for today, and I'm just gonna let these guys go ahead and just give me tons and tons of resources. So with all that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and of course, and as always, see ya in the next one. Bye.